Okay, guys. Now, since everyone's here, we can get started. First, I want to say hello and welcome everyone to TRIO's Alumni Lunch and Learn. Today, we have with us Demetrius Hurst, Kimberly Brown, and Stephen Stubbs. I'll provide a brief background on each alumni, and then each alumni will be able to tell their story and advice for any current TRIO scholars. First, we have Demetrius Hurst. Demetrius Hurst graduated magna cum laude with a Bachelor of Science in Biology in the spring of 2020. He is currently attending graduate school here at Georgia State University and is in the last semester of his Master of Science program with a concentration of applied physical science. He is a graduate assistant in the Department of Chemistry for Chem 1211 and Chem 1212. He plans to apply to medical school pending graduation, and he is also currently working as a medical assistant at Georgia Skin and the Georgia Skin and Cancer Clinic, while also working on research with the CEO, Dr. Sydney Smith. Thank you for being here, Demetrius.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, thank you so much for the introduction. Just wanted to go ahead and introduce myself a little bit from Waycross, Georgia. So me being in TRIO, I was part of the first generation part of it. So that's how I was able to get in the TRIO. I'm the first in my family to actually, graduate from college. So when I got in TRIO, that was the second semester of my first year. Me getting into it, I definitely was in need of the resources and definitely was in need of the network and everything. So I stayed active. I did. So that was the big thing. That's one thing I encourage, all the students to do is definitely stay active. Because, when you need these things that, you need and everything, like me getting into internships, me needing recommendations, me needing to go to different orientations to see different medical schools. It was TRIO that actually helped me helped me fund it and everything. Like it was all hands on board when I was asking. So I do want to go ahead and take the time and express that appreciation to TRIO. So me getting into TRIO, I was active. I love the different. Me even wanting to join it was because you got the cooking courses, you have the the study tips, you have the scholarship application, helping and everything with the things that I actually needed to do. So I would put TRIO as a big part of my success at undergrad, especially with me being a biology major. It was real hard. It was real hard. So me just having those tutoring services and all of those connections that I had through TRIO, being able to have like different study partners that was in TRIO and me meeting other people that was in my same major was very, very helpful. So fast forwarding to me graduating, I needed help. I needed help with I didn't take my MCAT yet. I was kind of struggling with that. I was trying to get into medical school, and it was more like I needed like a plan. So with TRIO, Miss Jones and Dr. Jones, they actually wrote my recommendation to get into the Applied Physical Science Master Program on this campus as well, and which I'm able to be I have a grad assistantship in chemistry, so I'm a tutor basically, as well as what we call a GTA, graduate teaching assistant. So for Chem 1211, Chem 1212 labs, if you have any questions or anything like that, definitely I can put my email in the chat as well. So with doing that, me doing this master's program and me, now I'm about to graduate in May. Now, I have what I need to go ahead and apply to medical school. I'm going to actually take my MCAT soon. So that's basically what I've been up to. And it started with TRIO. TRIO was one of those support systems that I utilized very, very, very closely when I was in my undergrad, and it really helped me to get to where I am today. So I appreciate it. If you have any questions or anything, I'll put my email in the chat. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Yep. And for our next guest, we have Miss Kimberly Brown. Kimberly Brown graduated cum laude with a Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice and Criminology in the fall of 2021. She is currently pursuing her Master of Science in Criminal Justice and Criminology with an emphasis in cybercrime. Here at Georgia State University, Ms. Brown recently accepted her graduate assistantships with the Office of Resource and student accessibility, working alongside the staff of SARC to ensure every student has equal access here on campus regardless of their disabilities. Thank you for being here, Kimberly.
Hi everyone, how are you? I'm actually at work right now, so I'm sorry if I might have to step out here and there. But yes, currently I work at SARC, the Student Accessibility Resource Office here at Georgia Southern. I'm really excited to be here. It's nice to see you all. I guess I'll talk about my journey at TRIO, or
yeah,
the overall thing or whatever. So TRIO I was actually working for TRIO before I got into the actual program. It was just a spur of the moment thing. I didn't know that I needed it until I was here, So Ms. Jones basically talked me into it, and so I applied and I got in, and it was like a catalyst for to start my professional journey, I guess. I didn't really know how to dress, how to walk, how to talk, how to send a professional email or a professional phone call and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of like got groomed into that professional light, I guess you could say, because of TRIO, and that started just a snowball effect of all these different things. I just learned a lot, and I met some really good friends that I'm still close friends with, and all this kind of stuff. And TRIO is just really, it gives you a sense of community and of friendship. And I was able to just kind of come out of my shell when I got into TRIO. And now I am in my master's, and I went ahead and just jumped right on into it. And I can say that because of TRIO, every day my professionalism just grows, and I try to learn more and more every day of just how to be a better professional, I guess, especially in my field. You have to dress a certain way, you have to talk a certain way, and all this other stuff. And I definitely learned how to just go with the flow in a sense of trying to find the words. I just learned how to go with the flow in the sense of just, I don't know. I just figuring things out, and it's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. It's another thing I learned. And constructive criticism to me is just the biggest thing that you have to learn to accept. It's not a slight against you or you as a person or anything like that. It's just you take it and you run with it and you become a better person. And I think that's the biggest thing TRIO taught me, was to take constructive criticism and to grow as an individual. So to add on to my bio, though, I plan to just kind of stay in Savannah, either work for the GBI office or work locally. I specialize in digital forensics, so that's what I'm currently working towards right now. And then eventually I will get a PhD in criminology. So.
Nice, amazing here.
I didn't know if I wanted to add anything else.
You can add it. You can add more if you want.
Oh no, that's pretty much all I got.
And for our last guest, we have Steven Stubbs. Steven Stubbs graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice and Criminology in the spring of 2020. Mr. Stubbs is currently working as an intake specialist for the Akelutz law firm here in Savannah, Georgia, and was previously employed by the Chatham County government as an animal officer for animal control. And while working in the role, he adopted his dog, named Baby. In addition, he is pursuing a paralegal certification. Steven, glad to have you here.
Thank you. Good to be here. My story's kind of short. It's not as big and extensive as the other people. Shout out to the other people. But yeah, I was in TRIO on college, and it was very useful. It was very useful. Everyone is highly competent, so it's very useful. Because, for example, I had my academic advisor. They just sit there, they just throw out classes, and have you taking things you don't need. And
Mhm,
I would go to TRIO to see my academic advisor, and they would
mhm,
give me what I need. They would get out the nonsense, and I graduated in 4 years, no retake, nothing like that. And also shout out to Miss Jones. Miss Jones is a wealth of wisdom and resources, so she
mhm,
can definitely help you. um yeah, and they're great staff, and they're in the business of helping people. But yeah, as for my background, I work as an animal officer. It was very interesting. It gave me a lot of experience in government and writing reports and going to court and
mhm,
testifying and stuff like that. That was pretty cool. I currently got a job now at a personal injury law firm,
mhm.
like a big old building, and it's actually really like impressive. And I'm like, huh, I'm here. But yeah, I'm learning so much there, and I'm currently trying to be a paralegal, and then my next step is law school down the future.
Nice, nice. And here's just some questions that I'll throw out to there were three alumni here. What skills do you think are most important as an undergraduate student in college? Each of you three can chime in.
I can go ahead and say being able to be organized. When you have like some type of organization, you know how much time to put in for certain areas. Like for instance, when you're taking very, very hard science courses as opposed to, taking like your like English 1101 or your core
Mhm,
courses that are a little easier, knowing where to put your time mostly, and the harder classes you're and so I would say like really like organization and time management is what I would say.
I think um, my answer to this question, a skill that's most important as an undergrad, I think it would be to, and everybody's circumstance is different, but do not wait until you graduate to start making your resume like something nice. Even if you can get a part job somewhere that's in your field, or something to add to your resume, that would definitely help. And I think that would be a useful skill that I would recommend for undergrad students, because you don't want to just graduate and you have nothing to show on your resume, but you have a piece of paper.
mhm.
So that's definitely I think a useful skill would be like get your resume together.
Yeah.
Um, I know it takes a minute to find out what you want to do as far as like your major and things like that, but as soon as you figure it out, you want to just jump right into it. Like um, study as much as you can about it. The greatest minds that did it. Who was the first one to do it? All those types of things, and how do you want to contribute to that field? It's just the sooner that you find yourself, the better, the the stronger foundation you'll have just moving forward, right? And that comes with your resume, that comes with taking good notes, studying early, reading ahead, that type of thing. Um, I used to do assignments like a month ahead of time, and it would give me time to do other things,
Mhm.
So just being ahead, definitely, for me, was the most important thing.
All right. Next question, I think probably can pertain to a lot of people is if you had to do college all over again, would you do it differently?
Mm, What do I do differently? Um, Lord, probably set enough time to take my MCAT. Um, and also just taking advantage of opportunities. So there was so much things that I didn't know when I first got to college that I could have known with more research. So like certain scholarships, certain opportunities like for medical school. Like there were so many different programs that I could have, like if I researched it, but I mean I didn't know. So like definitely would have researched a little more. Try to find out all the opportunities that were available instead of kind of like waiting on someone to kind of like tell me the opportunity, like give me some opportunities. So I definitely would have started that a lot earlier. I found that I was doing good, when I got into my junior year and senior year, but I know like for my first 2 years, I was more like relying on others to like, oh okay, well that works, okay cool, and like kind of like I wasn't searching myself for opportunities. So that's what I would probably do different. But everything else, like I pretty stoked the way college turned out.
Nice.
I think I am also stoked the way college turned out. The only thing I would have done differently is there was some time in college where I found a lot of free time on my hand, and me not knowing any better, I just not utilize it.
Mhm.
Knowing what I know now, I would have perhaps used that free time to start looking into like certificates or like, courses you could take that, mean something and stuff like that. But besides that, I think everything else turned out pretty great. Yeah.
Nice.
I just wish my study habits would have been a little different. Because freshman year of college, of course, that's like the hardest time. First time you're away from home and
Learning
all
curve.
this other stuff. It's a learning curve. Oh my God, I
Yeah.
hated it. I hated it. But I got so many C's my first semester that I wish I knew about the writing center and the
Mhm.
tutoring and things like that. And honestly, I wish I was in TRIO sooner than later. But again, besides that, I think I caught on really quickly after that second C. I was kind of over it, So other than that, yeah, no, college was pretty okay. I guess one more thing would be I wish I would have came out of my shell a little earlier of like doing events and going into club organizations and things like that. Maybe being a little more social.
Mm.
Yeah.
The third question is, how did TRIO as an organization help you along your journey being in undergraduate?
Ooh, I could go down a long list. TRIO was actually my primary like when I needed something, that's what I went to first. Okay, so they wrote the recommendations that allowed me to get into my internship at UNC Chapel Hill. They wrote my recommendation to be able to get into some more internships. There was a Morehouse, they have a program called First Look, where it's like a day long, all long. And I wanted to go. But at the time I didn't have a car, I didn't have any money. I would have to stay at a hotel. I didn't have like really family in Atlanta. So they funded my trip to go there. To go to the First Look program, which is like a big orientation to see what the medical school has to offer. It helped me it offered also like different programs that they had. So like TRIO, you could go, like often they had like grad school fairs. I remember we went to UNC, Greensboro, like we went to different colleges to see, what kind of master programs that they have and what they offer. Just a lot. And also when I was going through some things, Ms. Jones was always there, giving me advice. Ms. Willingham, everybody was just like real helpful. So it helped me personally as well as academically. So
I also agree with Demetrius. I feel like TRIO has given me a lot of exposure, definitely. Because when you're in college, it's kind of like your umbrella by the college institution, but like TRIO will kind of take you out and let you see what's beyond and give you some good exposure and stuff like that. So I think that was helpful for me, in my undergraduate course study.
Um, TRIO helped me kind of think outside of outside the box, because I was like, nah, I could never do an internship. I'm not professional enough for that. I'm not smart enough for that kind of thing. But Miss Jones or Miss Willingham was always like, just do it, just go for it. Like, why not? The worst case scenario is a no. And I realized the more, if I didn't do it at all, of course nothing was going to happen. But at least if I tried, something could happen. And I got a letter of recommendation for my master's, and I got in. And it was just always this push, right? Like, that's TRIO's biggest thing is the push, and that's just what I did. I pushed myself outside of my comfort zone, and they helped me do that.
Amazing to hear all your stories. And here's another question: what was your favorite TRIO event?
Ooh, that's hard. I can
Yeah.
tell you my favorite TRIO program was when we went to Puerto Rico. That was so what we did was we went to Puerto Rico on like a mission trip to help with the effects of the hurricane. So we did that for it was like a week long trip that we did. I think it was May of 2019, and it was amazing. Kids were amazing. The people were amazing. The food, Lord Jesus, the food. But favorite event. I like the cooking one. I like to eat. I like the cooking one. The cooking event where we made like a taco soup, made like just like budgeting, the budgeting one. Okay, so I wasn't always like in the freshman dorm. I didn't always have the meal plan. So like I had to by my sophomore year, I was already living in the apartment style dorm. So I had to get food. I had to fend for myself and learn how to cook. I didn't know how to cook. So like the budgeting, me going, finding out, okay, how do I shop, get the best out of, and not have to spend all this money by just getting brands that I really don't need. So it really helped me on, how to stock my pantry, how to, make sure I got certain stuff in the fridge and stuff to be able to cook, like having the basic stuff. So the budgeting one was my favorite TRIO of it.
So I think my favorite TRIO event was I think one time we went to Georgia Southern to watch like some cultural dances, and it was pretty fun. I think it's a yearly thing. That was very fun to watch. I think one time I had an opportunity to go up on stage and dance, which did not go well, but yeah, that was pretty cool. I think that was my favorite one.
I always enjoyed the every Friday the counseling center would come into TRIO Lounge, and we'd have basically these little group counseling sessions and all these fun games we would play and things like that. And in those events, I learned a lot about my TRIO family, basically, and they learned a lot about me. So it made us all closer as a community, and I enjoyed those push moments.
And the last question we have is, what advice do you have for current TRIO scholars as they look for future careers or future programs that they want to apply to?
Definitely research, definitely be open-minded. There's a lot of, like, if you would have asked me my freshman year, would I consider doing a master's or consider taking a gap year, I would have, of course, told you no. But me, like, under certain, different circumstances, that was one of the things that I had to be open to, instead of just not doing nothing for my gap year. So for career goals, try things. So I didn't just do, even though I knew I wanted to do medicine, I know what it was, but that I still went to graduate school functions. I still went to the career fairs of, like the teaching and stuff like that. Cause I mean, like, you never know, like I say I want to do medicine and everything. At the time when I first got into college, my freshman year, I wasn't exposed to all parts of medicine. I wasn't even exposed to many shadowing. This was an interest I really, wanted to do. So be open-minded, finding out what's best for you. And of course, when I graduated, I made that decision, like this is what I want to do, all because I have seen and experienced, different, like, other areas, other professions. For future programs of study, just ask for help, always ask for help, whatever, programs, whatever different things, like tools and things that are available to us, very important that we utilize those, whether it's the handshake portion, whether it's, just asking the TRIO family, going in the office and saying, like, okay, what new things have they been sending y'all? What new things do y'all have for us, or anything like that? And when they see that you're adamant about wanting to, get in, they keep you in mind, when things come up, and then they'll go ahead and, like, send you or email you or different types of opportunities that, could really help you. That's how I found out about the internships. A lot of those were through TRIO. They found that out. Some of the recruiters would actually come to Savannah and tell, Ms. Jones, like, okay, like, we're looking for some people. And the fact that I was so active in TRIO, she kept me in mind. So that's why being active is another thing. Make sure you're active in the org. Of course, we all have classes and everything. And if you have a heavy load, I know that you can't be as active as you want to be, but still, when you do go to the events, participate in, and it will really, really help you. So yeah, just be active, be open-minded, and make sure you just ask for help. Be willing to ask for help. That was one of the biggest problems that I had, especially when I first came here. I had a certain plan, and I wanted, like, I was sticking to that plan. I wasn't, thinking of what else could happen, like what else could come or come up or anything like that. I was just so one-sided in one road that I didn't consider any of the other things. So when I began to open my mind up and be able to actually be like, okay, like, this could happen, it really helped me, to be able to have that way of thinking. So that's the type of advice that I would give to them.
The advice I have for current TRIO scholars as they look for future careers or programs of study is to do a lot of research. And sometimes the research can be simple, like, who do you want to work for? Do you want to work for a business? Do you want to work for a corporation? Do you want to work for government? Do you want to work for the hospitals? And then, I would Google, like, types of jobs in that field, because I think we have a general sense of the jobs offered in hospitals, but if you do some research on it, you can see a lot more jobs. It's a lot more interesting, or, you might want to change your mind. Same for maybe criminal justice. With the criminal justice, you might think you want to do law enforcement, but your degree can get you into a law firm, have you working for the government, or just things of that nature, like business too. Just do a lot of research take some certificate courses to see if you're interested in business admin and stuff like that. So research is my number one advice for TRIO scholars.
On top of doing research, and again, like, this whole starting as early as you can, as soon as you realize, yeah, this is what I want to do, this is my passion. I talked to people that were already in that field. Get to know your professors, get their number, get their email. Get if you're thinking about doing your master's, later on, and this is something that I was able to do. My undergrad professor is my chair for my thesis, and we got to know each other in a professional way because he knows his stuff. So once you realize this is what I want to do, this is my career, this is what I want to do in the future, talk to people that are already there, especially those with their masters, with their doctorates that have already had like years of experience in that field. Get to know them, ask them questions, get their advice. Be friends, be friends with your professors. Definitely.
Okay. Jesus, you're muted.
For anyone that an alumni that's here that wants to ask questions to either Stephen, Demetrius, or Kimberly, feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question.
Well, I have a question. First of all, I want to thank our alums for coming back and speaking to our students. This is for students who are missing this, which I hate they're missing it in person. We are recording it and we're going to post it on our website as well as on our folio so that they can go back and look at this. I'm so very proud. I look at these three faces and I'm so very proud of you. These are active TRIO scholars. And I had posted in the chat and by the way, anybody watching this not know me, I'm Mrs. Jones, the director. Active TRIO scholars get TRIO dollars and TRIO perks. These three people know this. And so my question to you all is, we have been using the same saying or phrase for the last few years, and it's PUSH, persist, understanding, stuff happens. Can you tell us what does that mean to you? To persist, understanding, stuff happens.
That regardless of whatever you may be dealing with circumstance-wise, you have to still push through to gain the best and gain your education in what you're really working towards and working hard for. That's a dare.
Is the question just for alumni or those that are in TRIO right now? I'm Q, Nika.
You can answer your question, and as for the alumni,
We got to get the unmuting thing done. I posted specifically to alumni, but just to get from them there, and it's okay that Adara answered that. I love that. But I was just trying to get their take on what it meant to them, what it means to them, so that they can pour out to you guys. So let's give them an opportunity first, and then you guys please chime in.
I see it as yeah, because this is the story of me. Yeah, because stuff does happen. Stuff does happen. You fall down. It's all about how you get up. So the fact that understanding that it's not always going to be the perfect road. That there are humps that come along. There are obstacles, and it's all about like how you deal with them. Because you deal with them now. In the future you could possibly avoid them, but there's some things that you just can't avoid. So just having that mindset, like no matter what happens, like I'm just gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna keep on, stay encouraged, stay motivated, and get up to with this, positive outlook on life, positive, thing in my mind that okay, I can get through this. No matter what happens, I can get through this. So me being, like my Christian faith, I'll just go ahead and just leave it to God at sometimes because there's things that does happen, and it's things that are out of your control. So when you understand that it's out of your control, it's more of like you just put it away. It's hard to not worry about it, but when you live by like a certain set of values and stuff, it does get easier. But life is life; it happens. But you have to keep pushing. You do.
I 100% agree with Demetrius, 100%. Life does happen and, sometimes out of the blue, but you have to keep pushing. You really do. Yeah, you just have to keep, because it's kind of like you have your whole life and you can do what you need to do, and then you can just have your whole life to chill. You can't be down and out. You just got to push and push and push and push. Yeah, all of you guys can do it.
Okay, is Kimberly still with us?
Yeah, I'm right here. Something that my mother taught me is that time inevitably passes. And with time, things heal. With time, things move on, wash away. It's literally like water off a duck's back, right? So I take it as if something heavy or hard falls on you, you push it off of you and you step on it and you move on to the next tier. You know what I'm saying? Whatever falls on you, use it as a stepping stone to go further, to go higher. Like you're gonna lose friends. You're gonna go through betrayal. You're gonna go through a failing grade, a breakup, and all these other things. And that's just life. That's college life, right? But with time and with positivity, you're gonna push through it. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be able to see the light in the tunnel because time is always on your side. And back to what Demetrius said, I just give it to God. I'm like, this is what's bothering me. This is what stresses me. Here, you take it. I'm done with it, right? And then another thing I learned, which I tend to do this every day, no matter how small the situation is, even if you're stressed about it, write down what the situation is, what stresses you about it, then make a T-chart. What can you control and what can't you control? And then handle only what you can control about that situation.
Wow.
So
I
to me,
think
that's push.
that is so wonderful. You guys,
Thank you.
awesome, awesome. Persist, understanding stuff happens. I think Nika was chiming in there. Nika, please go ahead.
Yes, I want to also thank everybody for coming out. I know Miss Jones, she does that, but I want to say I really appreciate hearing it from a peer, someone, like myself, trying to get to where I'm going. Thank you all, each of you. And yes, persist, understanding stuff happens. I never heard that. I've seen a lot of push models, pray until it happens, or whatever, but I'm grateful for the persistence and the understanding that, yeah, things do happen. I was in New Jersey and I came here not knowing anything about Savannah, not having any friends or anything. And TRIO welcomed me into their family, and I'm grateful for that because last semester was my first semester, so I hadn't got adequated with, my school schedule, so I wasn't able to, show up, and I just didn't know. But now I'm learning how to get involved and come by the office and say hi to Mrs. Jones, and Dr. Flanagan, and so yeah, these things really are helpful, and every time I walk into that lounge and see push, it gives me an extra push to go on and like enthusiasm to say, yeah, I got this, I could do it. And then hearing your testimonies, and yes, I am a believer in God as well. So yeah, I give it to him. I have a sign over my bed that says, go to sleep, let God handle it. Go to sleep, don't worry about it, And I know that I know I have to do my part, but I'm grateful to know that I have a family and a community that is pushing me, even if I don't know everybody. They're pushing me to say, yeah, you got this, and every time I step on that second floor in that Psalms building, I'm always greeted with a smile and people that care, and I appreciate it. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Does anybody have, any of the students that are on have any questions for the alums?
Anyone else? No. Oh, On behalf of TRIO Student Support Services, we want to thank everyone who participated today. Truly, like, the knowledge of Stephen, Demetrius, and Kimberly is amazing. And I learned a lot of myself here today. And just want to thank everyone from the alumni panel. We're so grateful for your time, and we wish you all the best on your professional journeys, each and every one of you. And thank you. Thank you for your time today.
I want to thank Jesus too. You guys, I want to say that Jesus is our intern. He's a psychology major and he did an awesome job. And I want to thank him for moderating this panel today. Thank you, Jesus, for working. He's a part of our TRIO family now. TRIO for life, right?
Yes,
And Kimberly,
On your resume.
yeah, Kimberly, Demetrius, and Stephen, you guys mean the world to us. And thank you so much for reaching back and giving back. You know, that's something that we talked about a lot. Don't always be a consumer, also be a producer. Give back. And that's why we do community service in TRIO. That's why we went to Puerto Rico. We believe in giving back. So thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts for being a part of our National TRIO Day series. Again, this has been recorded today, and it's going to be posted on our website as well as on our folio, so the students can go back and watch this, because as Nika said, there's so many nuggets here that they can dig for and receive. But we appreciate you more than you know. So with that said, do y'all have any closing remarks? No? Demetrius looks like he does.
Oh, no, nothing. Just TRIO works. Okay.
Wonderful. That's right. Everybody say it with me together. 1, 2, 3. TRIO.
TRIO
works. Yeah.
Hello.
Bye, everybody.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you again.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.